just came from yoga class. I think I'm just figuring out what a beautiful thing I've fallen into. If you drop in at our yoga studio, I think it's $20 for a session. But if you signed up for a package, it's $15 or even a little bit less for a session. Today was my first actual session because last week was my first time. An hour and a half. Yeah. This is a bargain. And I was really happy that I thought I would be like a floundering whale in the middle of this class, even though it's a gentle class. The weight I currently am, which isn't certainly what my weight used to be, and lack of experience. I thought I would be flopping around a little bit. I didn't do anywhere near as bad as I thought I would. I'm kind of proud of myself. And I know it's good because I can still feel the burn in every single one of my muscles. Here's a picture I took after class. One of the things I like about this studio is it's just so comfortable and warm feeling. Yoga studios haven't always been something I thought felt like a place I wanted to spend time. You know, kind of industrial looking with a bunch of rubber mats on the floor. And I was talking to our teachers after class, and she said she just recently put up a picture on the website that they did when they had it like tidied up and looking as pretty as it gets. So I am going to put that picture here too, because it'll be better than mine, I bet. Last Sunday I missed, for reasons I couldn't avoid, a sound healing there and a kirtan that was going to be there. It's okay, because opportunities will present themselves again. This Sunday I'm going to a gong peace gathering. They told me a little bit about today. I was already planning on going because I'm so there with that kind of thing. And the fellow who does this gong also uses the bow on the gongs. I don't know if you've ever heard that. I've not seen anybody do it in person, but I've heard it on recordings. So I'm looking forward to that on Sunday. So as strange as my world is, I leave the yoga studio to go to the Dollar General to buy junk food. Okay. Those of you who are supporting me on my weight loss journey, don't panic. At my church, I'm going to tell you it's my absolute least favorite thing about my church. I mean, I really hate this, guys, but I suck it up and I do what expected. If you're on a committee or if you are in a covenant group, there's a schedule, and then you are responsible for doing snacks after services when you come up on the schedule. So you have to go in early to set up coffee and set up food, and then stay after for about an hour through the coffee hour and then do the cleanup. Honestly, I think it's presumptuous on my time because I don't want to spend, 2.5 hours of a Sunday at church? It's not my thing. I go to church for the service. I don't really go to church for that. And also, in all honesty, the money. I guess there's an assumption it's not a big deal. Some people make stuff. In fact, a lot of people bring in some really nice things. I don't. I stopped in at the dollar store. It's a $5 store also. And picked up a bunch of stuff. So I go from a weigh-in this morning, which was positive, to an hour and a half of yoga, to the Dollar General to buy junk food. Welcome to my life. You do what you got to do sometimes. I guess it's a small price to pay for all the joy I get from that church. But I just can't tell you how much it rubs me wrong that we have to do this. I have never been at a church that did it this way before. I don't like it. And because I'm active in the church on several different committees and in lots of different groups, I'm pretty often having to do this. And what's that you say, Ro? It gets my goat? Is that what you say? It honks my goat. That's what Rose says. It honks my goat. Oh, well, everything's not always perfect, is it? Life in general, it is. So it was a fairly quiet afternoon after that, and I made the dish that I took to our community potluck, which was this evening, and it turned out really good. It was a Mexican cauliflower recipe, which I think I've already shared. I liked it. I made a joke when I talked about making it that I'd probably bring most of it home because no one ever eats anything healthy at our potluck, but half of it went, so we have half of it left. Actually, I'm supposed to bring vegetarian food to a gathering this weekend, so I think it's going with me there, the leftover. Pretty tasty. I'll make it for just Roger and I too. But check out this table. This is the food table. The desserts are on a separate table. And we could eat the ham. That's it. So we did think to bring, or I did think to make a salad to bring with us. We knew we could eat the ham, and that the cauliflower casserole that I had made we could eat. So it was perfectly fine, but it was kind of odd seeing an entire table full of things except for the meat, none of which we could legally eat on induction. And needless to say, there was nothing on the dessert table that we could have. I'll tell you what was really neat though is my husband's got the sweet tooth. I don't. So that table in the kitchen, well, that one, there were things on there I would love to have had and didn't. But the dessert table doesn't bother me. But I had been telling Roger that he'd have to decide how he was going to handle it. That best, maybe he didn't even look at the table because, it could trigger wanting things. And that he would have to decide if he had to have perhaps one thing from it because it was too much to ignore it altogether. He didn't go up to the table. And then he told me when we were coming home that he actually didn't find that he was craving dessert. We had talked earlier about the fact that you read that within a couple of weeks that you will lose your cravings for sugar. And Roger actually feels like he's experiencing that. So that is, of course, a very, very good thing. So we enjoyed our time at the community potluck, and I'm going to end the video with a little snippet of a few of the guys brought their banjos and I think an accordion with them, and we did a little Christmas sing-along, which was, oh gosh, it was just so adorable. When Roger and I go to our community dinner, in the wintertime, we're amongst the youngest. There's only a few people who are near our age. Almost everybody else is older. And it's a very precious thing for us to be able to spend time with so many senior citizens, which I say kind of tongue-in-cheek because, I'm one too. But at least in that set, I'm young, or amongst the younger. And I'm going to end this video with just a sense of how sweet it can be when you spend time in a room full of some baby boomers, but the majority, the greatest generation.